Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly update you on what I'm doing at the moment. I've just been putting together my C3PO torso. So what I've done is just cut out all my pieces from just PVC foam board, and then I've just used my heat gun to form them around my mannequin. So this mannequin, as you've probably seen in my other videos, I made a mock-up of the naked C3PO torso. So I've just got all the pieces here in the positions that I want them, and I've just literally cut out my pieces that I made patterns from earlier and then just glued it all together. So what I did was anchored my parts here to the mock-up frame underneath, and then just used the heat gun to form and press everything into shape. Just trimmed up the edges as required, and then just super glued it all together. So you can see it's come up pretty good. It all fits on my body as well, but obviously this mannequin's not a true copy of my body. So I just tried this on a minute ago and it seems to fit okay, but it feels a little bit high at the front. So I may have to trim down this section a little bit and possibly even bring this little collar part forward just so that it looks more like there's nothing underneath it. So I have to have a lot of wires and stuff attached to my undersuit to really bulk out the torso the way it is in the movie, or on the puppet I should say. But to do that means that this actually has to be a little bit oversized. And so when I did make this mock-up with cardboard, I did build it so that it came out a bit more, but strangely, I think my torso is the same as this, and the measurements all look right, but then when I put this piece that I made on to myself, it doesn't quite come forward enough at the front. So I think I'm gonna have to do something to extend these edges and possibly bring the collar forward so that it does create a little bit more depth underneath, so I can put wires and stuff onto my undersuit. Actually, I'll even just demonstrate how it fits so you can see. It's a little bit, obviously it's not finished and it's all glued together, it's not meant to be worn just yet, but it's not too bad. When I keep the backpack in line with my shoulder blades, you can see that it rides up a bit high, and what I would prefer is that it sat down a bit lower like that, but then you can see how there's not really a gap here, and I really want this to like stick out a lot further. So if I can get it to, maybe if I can stretch out the back section, it will give my neck a bit more room, and then I could possibly heat form this forward section so that it sticks out a bit more. Maybe I can add a little strip across the front of these, or I can add a 1/2 inch strip through here to widen the two halves. Eventually, when I have the front and back halves together, they will actually be a little bit bigger on me. So that's where I'm up to at the moment, and it's all looking fairly good. So the only thing I have to really do now is fabricate a piece that will go underneath here, and a piece that fills in this back section. These parts here need to be heat formed, and they will just be sort of curled and curved and bent, and then they'll fit in and fill up this back section here. So this edge on my backpack panel has been beveled on the inside to facilitate accepting this when I finally bend it into place. So yeah, there's not much heat forming to get this to fit. It's mainly this section here will be rounded, and then there'll probably be a little bit of a curl on this side here, so that it will just fit around the torso. But you can see there'll just be a section there that'll need to be filled in, and then I can start getting to work on this front part here and attach it all to my belly disc that I created the other day. This was just parts, like PVC parts that I bought from my hardware. I don't even know really what these are meant to be for. Some of these are like PVC pipe, like down pipe, caps and just some weird flanges and fittings, and I don't know if maybe they're like lids or something that go on certain things, but I mean, this piece on the back, it kind of looks like a swimming pool pump cover, but I'm not really sure what it's meant to be for, but it worked perfectly. So when that's all connected to the framework on the front, this will look pretty good, and then I can just decorate this to make it look like it does in the movie. All I just need is a few rings attached to the front surface of that. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because on the back, I don't know if you can see that, there's already like ribs, ridges, circular ridges already like pressed into the plastic, but they weren't on the side that I needed, so that was a bit of a letdown. If I could find it in a diameter the same as this top section, it would have been ideal, but I couldn't. So anyway, I've like made that as best as I can. It looks, for stock standard parts off the shelf, I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. And I think it will look really good once it's all got wires and stuff attached to it. But yeah, so that's where I'm up to. Just thought I'd quickly update you. Yeah, like I said, I've just got to keep building these parts, and once I've got the frame all put together, then I need to work out how to split the two halves. There's going to be some extra details that will be built into the lower part here, and this will become, this edge will actually become the seam line. So you can see up here how I've created all these panels, and I haven't included a seam line yet, but that will be something I add on later. The shoulder rings here, they will get attached and they will be opposing each other. And what I mean by that is the back half of the torso, once it's all complete, will have like the right hand shoulder ring will be attached, and then the left hand shoulder ring will be attached to the front part of the torso cage. So that just allows me to, you know, slot one arm in and have the front section, and then slot my other arm in and have the back section, and then I can lock them together once it's on my body. Because I am not a contortionist, and I would not be able to get myself through these rings if they were attached at that width. So yeah, you can see how like it would be impossible to get into there. But just to show you how a normal 3PO costume torso is, it has the splits at the top. The neck ring has a split in it as well. If you can see that, it's a bit bright. But yeah, then down the side of the torso, we have another split, and there's some bolts that just hold it together. But this torso is slightly different, obviously, because it's a bit of a frame. So the side down below the side of the ribs doesn't really have a mechanism like this. So I'm just going to have to kind of engineer something to make this work for this application, because obviously when this torso or this version of C3PO was made, this was actually not made for a person to wear, it was a puppet. So me being 6 foot tall, the original puppet is only 1.67 meters or something like that, so it's like a, you know, Anthony Daniels is a pretty small guy. So yeah, so to make this wearable, there's obviously some like engineering involved with trying to adapt it to fit a person, and that's why some of these pieces I have to make a little bit oversized to create a bit of depth, so that it looks like when I attach the wires that there's no person inside, if that makes sense. So I've got a bit of work to do for that, but yeah, overall it's like it's coming along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, just a few more things to do really today, just to finalize the main structure, and then I'll be able to update you soon. But anyway, I'm going to get back to it because the day's running out and I've wasted enough time today cleaning this dungeon of mine. But yeah, it's always good to have a clean workspace. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will update you soon with the progress. Bye bye!